Hey guys, what's up? So today's video is kind of interesting. Here recently I came across a lot of about 40 diecast buses, and I saw in the pictures that there were quite a few road champs in this lot, and I saw the back end of one of these Hot Wheels where it had the added detail. And so I thought, for the price that they wanted for the lot of buses, I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy this entire lot because, honestly, for what this lot ended up being and what it came with, $25 was not a bad deal. So, I probably could have done an unboxing on this, but to be completely honest with you, when I unboxed it, I wasn't really thinking about doing an unboxing. So I'm just going to kind of walk through and show you guys some of the models that were in this lot. Um, so the first few things that were in this lot were, as you can see, the Hot Wheels buses that are in front of you. Whoever did these, detail-wise, actually did a pretty good job. Like they gave it black paint for the rub rail. This particular bus has a white roof. They gave the front end detail on the grill for the Ford. And they did a pretty good job. I do like what they did, and you can also see they did it to this one as well. And that one has black instead of chrome or silver or whatever you want to consider that. But these little buses look pretty cool with the actual warning lights done up on them. They gave the door some detail as well, and then they painted this rub rail black. And then the back, they did up the tail lights and the rub rails that wrap around the back. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I mean, these are pretty much all the same detail-wise. But just the fact that somebody put the time into detailing these little Ford Waynes, it's really cool. And I think they came out pretty well. So those were the first four things that were in this lot, were these little Fords that had the detail on them. You've got this one here, which is a basically this, but instead of yellow, it's chrome, obviously. There's no detail added to this one, but still pretty cool. And I know this one has because I have one of these, but this one has a wheel variation on it, whereas the one I have has that type of wheel on it. This one has these I think those are 10-spoke wheels. So that's something I don't actually have when it comes to the individual variation. And then you had plenty of, I think you've got four of the Matchbox Wayne buses. Now these don't actually have any added detail to them. They're just a little beat up, but I love these Wayne Internationals that Matchbox made back in the 80s. It's a shame that this model did not see more releases, and this is one of those models that I do love to collect, and I know I have quite a few. But yeah, I mean, they're all the same basic version that say School District 2, and like I said, no real modifications to them, just a little beat up. And then the next bus is this little MotorMax International Wayne. So this is kind of like a miniature Road Champs. I mean, it even says International School Bus on it. It's just got the logo instead of International. And it says School Bus. And this one's in pretty decent shape. I do have a few of these, but it's nice to get another one that's in pretty good shape. And then I got two of these. Now, I don't know who makes these, but it's I don't know. I was trying to see if I can see the logo on the bottom, but this is basically a, I want to say a copy of the Matchbox Wayne. So I actually did not have any of these, so it's nice to add some of those to my collection. But yeah, I got two of these. And then we have a little bit bigger buses. So the first one is this generic Bluebird S Series. Now, I'm sure we've all seen this model at one point or another. But this model actually has a few different versions of it. You'll see that this bus model has the number 6856 on it. The first version was 6851. That's the number it had on it. And the very first version actually had plastic insert warning lights, a grill that said International, and all kinds of stuff that was pretty cool. And this was one of my favorite models growing up because it's something that you could get pretty easily, and for what it is, I feel like it did have good detail. And just as a younger person, when I was trying to get school bus models, and this is what I could find, I really did like these. So I've had quite a few of these through the years. But I mean, there's really nothing too different about this. It's just the one of the last versions of it, because it's got painted on warning lights, plastic door, and then the curvature in the hood, so that way they wouldn't have to do licensing. So that was a model, and then over here, as you guys can see, we do have two of the larger generic Wayne S series buses, which again, it's one of those models that I feel like almost everybody has either seen or has one. So got two of those that were in that lot. Then we have two of these little buses, which over the years I've heard a lot of different interpretations on what these bodies could represent. Personally, I've always gone with Bluebird for the sole fact of the rear window is curved like a Bluebird, and to me, when I look at this rear end, it just looks like a Bluebird. I know people interpret their models different ways, and it is what it is. I'm not going to stop you from calling this whatever you want to call it. But me personally, I just always referred to these little buses as Bluebird Internationals. But yeah, so there were two of those in that lot, in very good condition as well. And then there were three of the Thomas ER little wind-up buses. All of them in very decent shape, but that's basically what they look like. Nothing special, just the Thomas ER wind-up. I'm a little disappointed these aren't old enough to have the visors. There are versions of this from, I don't know when exactly it would have came out, but the very first version of this model had visors over the warning lights, and they're pretty hard to find. I'm pretty sure the headlights were also in like a plastic insert, if I remember correctly, but that's a model I definitely want to get my hand on at some point. So that was the first part, and now, like I said, there were about 40 buses, so that was the first 20. Now the second 20, you heard me talking about those road champs. I will show you here in a second the second half of this lot. But first I'm going to start off by showing you this little interesting creation. So this is an Eagle coach that Road Champs made. They also, when they were doing the bus, they made these Eagle coaches for they had a series where they would have different bands and musicians. They would have their tour buses done up in this casting. But you can see whoever did all these models did this one up like a school bus. With warning light paint and everything, and actually painted it yellow on the top, and gave it some nice detail for what they were trying to make it. I think that was pretty cool that they did that. It's just not something you see, because obviously it was never used in those applications, but I still think it's a pretty cool little odd thing that was in this lot. So that was first half of the lot. Let's go ahead and look at the second half of the lot. Alright, so the second half of the lot is all Road Champ Wayne Internationals. You'll even see with these three buses in front of you that whoever did this put some detail in them. You can see that they were given amber warning lights, which looks really nice on those. And even gray grill on that one, or silver, whatever you want to call it. So whoever did this put some detail into it. They even did the headlights silver on some of them to make the headlights look real. And I think they even did the turn signals. So whoever did these knew what they were doing. Like, it wasn't just someone random who hadn't seen a school bus before. I would assume this was either an enthusiast or maybe a driver. I'm not sure. I would say with this quantity of Road Champ Waynes that they were likely an enthusiast, but I don't know. But anyways, so there are 20 of these Road Champs. and I will show you what I mean. There are plenty of these. 2 of them have white roofs, but all of the others have yellow roofs like they would have came originally. So I'm just going to kind of show you a few of them because they're all pretty much the same. And they do actually have numbers. You can see some of them have it on the roof. But a lot of them, they all have numbers, and it goes 1 to 20, so all the numbers 1 through 20. But basically what you get is this, you know, it'll say whatever it said, and then it has the number, and then whoever did these, normally on a Road Champs, the top 2 rub rails were painted black, and then the bottom 2 were not. So they put the black paint on the bottom 2 rub rails. But yeah, as you can see, they even did the back. You got your amber warning lights, and you can also see where they colored the reverse lights, and just put in little details that the bus would have in real life. So whoever did this, I think, did a really good job. On some of them, let's see, does this, no, that one doesn't have it. So on some of them, they actually painted the line that would go across the top, which basically was a rub rail that was used to keep the windows in place, since Wayne windows mounted from the outside. But that's a pretty good detail, and you know, you can just see the time and effort that was put into detailing these buses by whoever actually did it. Real quick, here's a look at the bus with the white roof. Personally, I kind of live by a belief that Waynes and Superiors should not have white roofs, because Waynes, I know in the later 90s, before they went out of business, that some of them were ordered with white roofs, but to my knowledge, I do not believe Superiors ever came with white roofs from the factory. And just me personally, I feel like those 2 buses, or those 2 brands rather, were ordered without white roofs more than they were with white roofs. I don't even know if you could get a white roof on a Superior, so don't quote me on that, but my belief is that those 2 types of buses should have yellow roofs, just because of their age, and I feel like that's what most of them had. If it was a factory-done white roof, then, you know, whatever. But personally, I just would not put a white roof on a Wayne or a Superior aftermarket. I feel like Carpenters and Thomases and Wards and everything else can pull it off because they've made them for so long, and the bodies have, you know, not really changed all that much in that time frame that they made them, that it looks, I mean, to me, it looks fine. Because you have a Thomas from, say, the 80s, that body is almost identical to something from 2001 or 2002 before the C2, you know, was produced. So that's my feeling on white roofs on older buses. But anyways, you can just see they basically painted the roof white, and this bus has the same detailing as the other ones with the warning lights and reverse lights and any other small lights that they could get colored. I swear there was a bus that they did the turn signals on the back. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Here's the other white roof bus. Pretty much same thing, with the detail and all the lights. So a lot of these buses do have their stop sign. I think only 2 or 3 don't. And one of them, it's like, I'd say 2 of them need their stop signs re-glued, but for the most part, these are all in very decent shape and definitely worth what I paid for the lot, to me at least. Because I like, as you guys know, I do love Waynes. I own a Wayne, for goodness sake. But point being, you know, I do like the Road Champs Wayne. It is a nice model. It's something that I feel like we just haven't really had a model since that has had the amount of detail for what it was in it. So I really do like these. Now, I forgot about these. So I think these 3 are the only ones that have painted turn signals. So these 3 are pretty interesting because, as you'll see, whoever did them did the area around the taillights black, almost like on a Bluebird or something. And personally, you know, I prefer that area to be yellow on a Wayne. But I will say, for this specific purpose, like, it does not look horrible. And I do like the detail. It is a nice little thing they added, and your turn signals are actually, the right color. Whereas on, like if you bought this model standard and didn't do anything to it, you'd have two red lights back there. But anyways, like I said, they put some effort into these. I don't think these have any other detail that's different from the other ones, other than the tail or the turn signals being painted the right color. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty cool, and I mean, that's pretty much the entire lot of these buses. So I'll give you guys a quick, like I'll run through all of them so you can see them real quick before we end the video here. But basically, this is what you got. So, you got going down the line. I mean, they're all numbered 1 to 20, so you can, that's bus 1 and then 2 and so on. So there's the first little group there, and then you can see they all have, some of them have the gray grills, some of them don't, and they all have about the same level of added detail. And then there's the last two. So these last three, this one and those two, have the painted turn signals and stuff on the back. But yeah, that's pretty much this lot. Like I said, I think it's a pretty cool lot, and this is why I do recommend, if you want to look for models and you don't want to just look on eBay, if you have Facebook, get on Facebook Marketplace, look up Diecast School Bus or School Bus Diecast, either one, and you never know, you might find something, because I've had a few different times where, I've gotten on there and have looked up those exact words, and I've found some pretty cool things. So it's always worth a check, and most of the time people on Marketplace are willing to ship their items to you, just as long as you pay for shipping or however they want to do it. So that's my suggestion. Check that out. You never know what you might find. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different, and it's like it's not an unboxing, but it's kind of going through something I purchased recently. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all these models as of yet. I'll probably keep some of the Road Champs, but I will say this: if I do decide to sell any of these, they will probably go up on my eBay page, which is School Bus Heritage _7, if you want to find it. So yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think, and yeah.